Welcome guys, this is Nick and Logan from Beer&BatReps, and we are just gonna hang out and assemble some hobby stuff.
Yes.
Logan has a, what's this thing called?
A Locus Heavy Destroyer.
Locust Heavy Destroyer that he's assembling, and I am painting Beer&BatReps specific hilarious objectives. And we're gonna talk about the new Necron book, because Logan just bought it, and there's a lot of stuff to learn. So let's start with what you're assembling. What does this thing do?
So this is the Locus Heavy Destroyer. Here, let me pull up its
stat from the book.
Stat from the little bitty thing that it comes with.
They're like even more powerful than the ones.
Yeah, so you can take them in like, I guess they're just like the old Heavy Destroyers. It's just a new model for them. And so you can just take them in ones.
So what makes them Locust? Is that some new?
So they changed it with all the Destroyer cult stuff. There's like Ophidian Destroyers. There's the Hexmark Destroyer. There's, let me see here. What's the new Scorpec?
Scorpec, yeah.
So that's one of the new Destroyer cults.
So they just gave a lot more background to Destroyers in the book.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's cool. I got 9 of the Scorpec, so I'm pretty excited to use those guys.
Yeah, the Hexmark Destroyer is the guy with all the pistols.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To have a duel with the Gene Stealer cult guy.
Yeah, I think the Gene Stealer guy would win.
Is it not very good?
He's like 80 points, and he has 6 pistols, so he has 6 shots, and every time he kills somebody, then he gets to shoot again at him.
Gotcha.
And there's some stuff you can do, like he can come down when somebody comes out of deep strike and shoot him, but he always hits on 2+, even in Overwatch. And I'm pretty sure
nasty.
And he hit rolls of 1. So oh, he ain't bad, but for 80 points.
Is their fluff still that they're like robots that have gone insane and just want to kill everything? Wasn't that like the Destroyer cult? Like they have something wrong with their code?
I didn't really read much into it, but I think what I've heard was that the Destroyers were just guys that were just hell-bent on killing people.
Yeah.
So they try to like.
They still get the reroll ones to
mod their bodies and
reroll
stuff.
ones, right? They just come with it, like Eternal Hatred or something like that.
So all of them come with reroll hit rolls of 1.
Or Hardwired Hatred is like a real cool name.
Yeah, they all come with reroll hit rolls of 1. Scorpecs do. Pretty sure the Ophidians do too. Your microphone on.
Ophidians, yeah.
Okay, just make.
I have a tendency to leave the microphone off, and then we just talk forever.
Yeah.
I was just making sure this was on camera. I'm painting these up to be Coors Light Silver Bullets, guys. It's hilarious. For one of our objective markers. Because Noah has a tendency to bring some Coors Light over.
So Ophidian Destroyers are like the new snake-looking guys.
Oh yeah, they
could raise.
So do they just have Deep Strike? Like what are they?
Yeah, so they pretty much come with Deep Strike. They're Strength 4, T4. They move 10 inches. They have the Hyperphase Reap Blade, Ophidian Claws.
I kind of get the vibe of like.
Wow, Strength 6, AP -4, 3 damage. Is what their attacks are. They have 3 attacks each.
Kind of get a Ravener vibe from Tyranids. Like they just bust out of the ground. They have snake torsos and blades. Yeah, they got the Tunneling Horrors, so they do that.
Whip Coil Bodies. Each time a melee attack is made against this unit, subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll.
Wow, that's nice. You just have -1 to hit in combat.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Hyperphase Reap. Wow, this is actually cool. Hyperphase Reap Blades. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack with a Hyperphase Reap Blade, an unmodified hit roll of 6 scores in 1 additional hit. And that's Strength +2, so they're Strength 6, AP -4, 3 damage.
Ugh. Well, and I've been running combat Necrons for so long. I guess the writers at GW finally realized some people like running combat Necrons. Seems like they got a bunch of new combat units.
A lot of their stuff's combat, especially their warlord traits. What was one of their new warlord traits? I think it was from Mefrit. It's just instead of whatever it was before. I can't even remember now.
It was probably was Mefrit the movement based dynasty?
No, Mefrit was Nefrek. Nefrek is the one like where you get to teleport or whatever.
Right.
They still got the subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll. But Mefrit's warlord trait is now it used to be the plus 6 inches to range or whatever with assault weapons, and you could target people with assault weapons characters.
Oh, that's awesome.
But now it's just add 1 to the strength and attack characteristics of the warlord. My first like the one.
Still pretty handy if it's a Scorpec lord. Aren't those guys like super awesome already? Like they start with.
Oh yeah, they got a bunch of attacks. Well, they don't have a bunch of attacks, but the claw makes them do double attacks, so they have 8 attacks. So then you go to 10s.
Oh, that's nasty.
They hit on 2s, reroll 1s. Yeah, they're pretty nasty.
Yeah, you were telling me about. So this guy, is it just strength? Is it a board range strength 9? Got carried away with destroyers. There's so many different destroyers. So the one you're building.
So the one I'm building is the Locust Heavy Destroyer, and there's 2 different guns for it. And what I'm probably gonna do with it is I'm gonna do the Gauss Destructor. It's 36 inch range, heavy 1, strength 10, AP minus 4, and 3d3 damage.
Oh, 3d3 damage. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so and they reroll hit rolls of 1, so I was gonna take him in. I bought the Silent King too, so I was gonna run the Caesarican Dynasty or whatever.
Okay.
That he comes in, so he gets.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. So does it buff shooting? Are they like a shooty dynasty?
They get to reroll wound rolls of 1, or not wound rolls of 1. I'm sorry, they get to reroll 1 wound roll.
1 wound roll per unit. Per unit. Kind of like salamanders.
So that's yeah, it's like that. And then their other benefit is they have a 5+ save against mortal wounds.
Or just army wide? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. And doesn't his little floating rock Bluetooth speakers?
No, we'll get to it.
Don't they shoot flat 6 or something? He's gross, man.
Anyway, so I'm gonna buy probably like 3 of them, and then just kind of try to run MSU to try to get the most out of it.
3d3. So that's what that like Castle and Knight did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So these guys are powerful. They hit on 3s.
They hit on 3s.
It's just single shot.
1s. They reroll 1s to hit, so then you get to reroll a wound roll with you.
Wow, so they're actually pretty efficient.
Yeah.
Just hope for not 2s, basically. And you don't need characters to babysit them because they just have their own rerolls. Yeah. That's great.
So they're 70 points.
That's not very expensive.
And you can take 1 to 3 of the models.
So you could just like bring 9 of those and just win against a vehicle army. Or monster army.
Maybe. So they're strength 4, T5. They have 4 wounds, which is nice. 3+ save. They have living metal, so everything that's multi-wound in this book has living metal.
Yeah, so everybody got it. Basically.
So everybody got it, yeah. And they also have reanimation protocols. So.
Oh yeah, I read about how those work. They're a little different.
Yeah, they're different. So now, like, say that I have a unit of 3 of them. And then 2 of them die, then I roll 8 dice, and I have to get 4 5s or 6s for 1 of them to come back.
So it's very hard to do, but they actually have a chance.
They actually have a chance to do it.
Whereas they used to just not even get it.
Yeah, so it's a lot better for like multi-wound or 1-wound guys, because then they get to
roll all the dice.
They get to roll all the dice that they lost. So, but like,
and then 5-ups to get back up.
Yeah,
I heard it's kind of like 5-up Feel No Pain, 5-up Shrug, but a little worse.
It's a little worse and a little better. It's worse because you can't take it against mortal wounds, or you can only take it against shooting attacks and melee attacks.
Got it.
Okay. So no mortal wounds or anything else like that caused from psychic or anything else. But the cool thing about it is that, you know, the model actually gets removed. So then when you roll the dice after a unit's done shooting at you, then you set it back up, like you can set it up anywhere. So like you can get closer to an objective if you need to.
Yeah, I think I saw that on a battle report.
Yeah.
I think it was Chef. He was like, I could do this if I wanted to. Like, I'm not going to, but I could.
But I could. Just know that I could. Yeah. Oh, it
seems like
in here, I think.
They used to be known as a tough mid-range army, and now they've added a bunch of combat and a bunch of long-range shooting. So now you're a really balanced army.
See, I've only played 8th edition until 9th edition. So
and you didn't get many games of them, right?
No, I think I've only played them against them once at a tournament, and it was against the 3 Doomsize and 3 Doomsday Arcs and
very common
destroyers.
Very common build.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone brought 3 of those, and what a.
And I mean, I took Grey Knights, and
did all right, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Grey Knights are way better now.
Yeah, this was before their Psychic Awakening book or anything else, so it was.
And didn't all your Terminators gain a wound?
No,
they will. When your book comes
yeah,
out.
well, my book comes out. I didn't get anything from that.
Dude, we just did a battle report with Deathwing, and they're so broken now. They gained a wound.
Did you do the Terminator thing?
Yeah. They gained a wound, and they just get transhuman physiology.
Yeah,
they just have it. Just inner circle, and they're immune to. Also, all their characters have inner circle, so all their characters can only be wounded on 4-up. It's crazy. They still, I was controlling them, so they didn't do too well. If Noah were controlling him, he would have done really well, but I tend to roll terrible.
Would you like to talk about the Silent King?
Yeah, I want to hear what this guy does. I want to see if he's worth $150. The model's incredible.
Tell you what, it's taken me forever to build him, and
one of those where the book has 40 pages, the instruction manual.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a lot of things. Finicky things.
How much does he cost point-wise?
450 points. So he's 450 points. He is Zarek, whatever. I don't know.
However we pronounce fake words.
You pronounce them. So he's movement 8, 2+ ballistic skill, 2+ weapon skill, strength 5, T7, 16 wounds and 6 attacks, and a 3+ save. But the 16 wounds is nice because you can hide him. You can hide him behind the obscuring terrain.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? But yeah, because if you have 18 wounds, you can't hide.
Because if you have 18 wounds, you can't. But he has effectively 26 wounds because his 2 Triarchal Menhir, they have 5 wounds each.
Are those the rocks?
Those are the rocks.
And those die first, or how?
So there's a whole thing right here where it says the order of that people die. So the 2 Triarch Menhirs have to die first, and then after that, I think it is the Pharaoh of the Stars. You lose the Pharaoh of the Stars ability, and then after you lose 8 wounds, and then you have a 4 or fewer wounds, it cannot make attacks with the Scythe of Dust and loses the Pharaoh of Blades ability, which are just the 2 little guys on the side.
Gotcha. Okay. His little helpers.
His little helpers. But it's cool. There's a command point thing that you can use for vehicles just to go back up to full brackets. So then everybody just comes back.
Hell yeah. So kind of like what AdMech have had for a while.
Yeah. You can keep a little Cryptek behind him to heal him.
Okay.
Technomancer is like the old school regular Cryptek.
Do spiders still heal vehicles?
Yes, I believe they do.
You said he's vehicle keyword, right?
Yeah. He's got a vehicle keyword.
So you do have to watch out for Haywire a little bit. But
yeah, he can die pretty easy. He's got a 4+ invulnerable save. But
honestly, nowadays 400 isn't that many points.
No.
I'm sure he does a lot on the battlefield.
Well, yeah.
To protect him.
So his 2 little Menhir things have 36-inch range Annihilator beams that are heavy 1, strength 12, AP minus 4, 6 damage. Then he also gets to shoot with his Scepter of Eternal Glory, which is Assault 3, Strength 8, AP minus 3, 2 damage. He also gets to attack with the Staff of Star Shooting, Assault 24-inch range, Assault 9,
okay.
Strength 6, AP minus 2, 1 damage. And then, so that was it for his shooting. And then his attacks and combat, the Scepter of Eternal Glory, Zarakin himself has Strength 9, AP minus 3, 2 damage attacks, 6 of them. And then the Scythe of Dust, which is from the Pharaoh of Blades, he gets Strength 8, AP minus 4, 3 damage, and you get to make 4 additional attacks with this weapon, and no more than 4 attacks.
And that's just one of his bodyguards.
And that's just one of his little bodyguard guys.
So I'm getting a real Catacross feel from this.
Yeah.
Like the whole diorama, and you gotta fight everybody. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then the Staff of Stars, melee, strength 5, AP minus 2, 1 damage, and it just makes 3 additional attacks with it.
Wow.
So he has like 13 attacks? Yeah.
So those of you who don't play AOS, there's a guy named Catacross, and he just comes on a diorama base, and it's the same thing. Like, he takes wounds, and his bodyguards die until you finally get to him, and then he fights. That's awesome. Once again, 40k tries stuff out in AOS and sees if it works, and then makes their own. Yeah, he seems awesome. Well, his shooting is gross.
Yeah, and he's got like a whole page of rules just to himself. So he's got Living Metal and Command Protocols. Of course. He has Knockalith Beacons. In your opponent's psychic phase, you can attempt to deny 1 psychic power as if you were a psyker.
Good, that's helpful.
I don't know how to say this word, but something generators. At the start of the fight phase, if there are any enemy units within engagement range of Zerrican, then until the end of the phase, those units cannot fight until all other eligible units from your army have done so. Wow. So it's not a fight last. It's just you literally just can't fight until.
That's awesome.
Until he's fought.
And is it a bubble or is it just people touching him?
It's just people touching him in combat with him. So if you charge him, he still gets to swing at you first before anything.
Ouch.
Pharaoh on the Stars aura. While a friendly Necron's core unit or Triarch Praetorians unit within 6 inches of Zerrican, each time a ranged attack is made by a model in that unit, you can reroll the hit roll.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's just Necron core units because he's also a dynastic agent, so you can put him in any.
So like
armor.
A Chapter Master reroll bubble.
Yeah.
But just for core.
Well, it gets better. He has Pharaoh of the Blades. While friendly Necron core or Triarch Praetorian unit is within 6 inches of Zerrican, each time a melee attack is made by a model in that unit, you can reroll the wound roll. So he rerolls hit rolls in shooting and wound rolls in combat.
Jeez.
Not for himself though.
How big's the bubble?
6 inches.
6 inches. Okay, so castle up. But so he loves Praetorians. Are they like his bodyguards or something?
Yeah. So you'd like the Triarch Praetorians and the Triarch Starkers and all that. This is literally the Triarch and the Silent King model.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that like they're the. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know his fluff at all. So he's like. He's the leader of all Necrons? Is he like Archaon for Chaos?
He's kind of the leader of all Necrons. Not a lot of the other Necrons like him very much though. Because he's the one that made them all dig the...
He's like the Pharaoh.
He's the one that sold them out to the Satan Shards. Because they're wanting to be immortal.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess Necrons only use... The Necron-Tier Empire, they only live to be like 30 years old most of the time.
Wow, that's not very long.
No. So then they wanted like immortality. And then... the Deceiver, Zerrican signed a deal with the Deceiver, deal with the devil.
The Deceiver, yeah.
And then, yep. So now he is.
So you were saying earlier, I don't know if we got caught up with something else, but you were saying Deceiver got kind of nerfed. Is he?
Yeah. Hold on, let me finish this thing.
Oh yeah, sorry. He's got so many rules.
Yeah, he's got more. So the Relentless March. So he adds a 1 to the movement the normal move characteristics or advance. Of friendly Necron core units and Praetorians within 6 inches of them, which all Overlords have that. I'm pretty sure all Overlords do. Then he has the My Will Be Done, but he's a Pharaon, so he can do it twice. So
2 different units.
So 2 different units. Yeah, but it's Necron core or Triarch Praetorians, which there's not a whole lot besides like your troops and stuff that are.
So no destroyers can take it, but that was always the case, right?
He's about the only way to buff Praetorians. Besides, there's like one stratagem for him. I like Praetorians.
Are Praetorians the shield combat guys?
No, those are Lich Guard.
Okay, so Praetorians are...
I'll cover Praetorians after this.
Cool.
Voice of the Triarch. Once per battle, at the start of any battle round, if Zarek is on the battlefield, he can alter your command protocols. If he does, the command protocol that you did not assign to any battle rounds before the battle becomes active for your army for that battle round instead of the one you assigned to it. So the command protocols, you assign them to a battle round, and you have them upside down so your opponent doesn't know, and then you just kind of flip them up.
What? That's awesome.
But his Warlord trait that he gets is you just choose 4 instead of 5, and you get to use 1 for 2 of the battle rounds. So if you really need a protocol, like there's a protocol to fall out of combat and still shoot. So
you're under more control when you have him.
Yes.
It's less random. And
then the whole who dies first rule. If he's your Warlord, which he has to be if he's in your army, you get 3 additional command points.
Awesome.
4+ invulnerable save. Oh yeah, he Vengeance of the Enchained, because his little Satan chart up there, his little Satan buddy power in his throne.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He does have a little half torso Satan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He explodes on a 4+, and each unit within D6 inches takes D6 mortal wounds.
Ugh. So it's like you want to castle up, but it's a little dangerous to castle up.
I think he's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to try him out.
I don't think he's overcosted or anything either. I think he's probably about right because he can still die from shooting pretty easily. Yes.
Yeah, and luckily...
It's 26 wounds, T7, 3+ save.
T7, all 26 wounds. Even the first guys you kill.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And I feel like GW nowadays, like if people start bringing him and just dominating tournaments, then they'll adjust it accordingly.
Well, I don't think they'll be doing it if they don't ever change. What is it? Eradicators for Space Marines.
Eradicators are a little stupid right now.
Yeah, I don't think they'd last very long. So
shooting twice is gross enough. I was actually talking to Noah about this the other day. I think all they're going to end up doing is just dropping core keyword. They don't need rerolls.
No, they don't.
Like just you can keep shooting twice. That's fine. Just take core keyword off them.
They added core to almost every single unit in the Space Marine.
We actually figured it out. Anything with legs. Anything with legs got core keyword. Even dreadnoughts. Yeah. Because they have legs. My speeders didn't.
So Tomb Blades got core.
Oh, that's good.
They don't. They don't.
Do you still have all your Tomb Blades?
I got 6 of them. Yeah.
Are they still pretty good? You do Tesla or Gauss?
I'd probably still do Tesla. I think it's more expensive for Tesla, but I'd still do.
Didn't Tesla used to be strength 6?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Tesla was always strength 5. I think the ones for like the vault and all that, I think those are strength 7.
And maybe the chariot guy.
Maybe the chariot guy.
On the chariot. I forget what his name is.
Which that's another thing we should talk about too, is that quantum shielding. Quantum shielding got changed, so whatever that rule was where you rolled the dice and you had to roll under the wounds and you just ignore it. Now they have transhuman all the time, and they have a 5+
5 up. Save. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. So
I think it's better.
I mean, against a Melta gun, you're gonna miss the old rules, but against almost everything else, because remember Melta and las cannons used to like do nothing, because you could just roll under the damage. But now you actually have, I don't know.
It comes into effect a lot more often. Yeah, all your vehicles are T6,
and it speeds the game up. You don't have this weird little,
Yeah.
Hold on, little mini game where I gotta roll under the amount of damage you did, and now it's just an invul.
Well, let's talk about Praetorians, because I bought 2 boxes of 5, so I got 10 of them.
Nice 10 pack.
So, Triarch Praetorians, they move 10 inches. They have wound skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 5, T5, 2 wounds, and a 3+ save, and 3 attacks. They also have living metal and reanimation protocols.
So living metal because they have 2 wounds. Like you're saying, anything with 10 inches? So they're like jump infantry?
And they also have the fly keyword.
They have like a jump pack. That's awesome.
Oh, it says right here, gravity displacement packs.
Awesome.
So they displace gravity. I don't know. They did change the Rod of the Covenant, which is the staff thing that they have, which looks cool. It's a lot better than the sword and the pistol thing. So it used to be strength 5, AP -3, like 1 damage. I think they were just 1 damage, both melee and shooting, but now it's strength 5, AP -3, 2 damage, assault 1, 12 inches. And then Rod of the Covenant melee, strength 5, AP -3, 2 damage, with 3 attacks each.
3 attacks each.
They also have reanimation protocols, so like, as I was saying earlier with the reanimation protocols, you have like a unit of 5 and 3 of them died, then you roll 6 dice, and you have to get, like for each 5 and a 6, have to add up to the wounds characteristic of one of them.
So for every 2 5s, a guy comes back.
Yep.
That's not bad when you have 10 guys.
No.
Also, didn't you say that Silent King gave him an extra inch of movement too?
Yeah.
11. They get all the rerolls from him.
They get reroll hit rolls in shooting and reroll wound rolls in combat.
Seems pretty good.
And I'm pretty sure you can, and you can put My Will Be Done on him. I think he's the only one that can put My Will Be Done on Triarch Praetorians. So, yeah.
So they don't start at 2+. So that's the only way to get them.
No, they don't start. They don't start at 2+ wound skill or ballistic skill. I wish they did. They're kind of like the
elite,
kind of the elite guys. But they moved them. They were in the elite section. They moved them from the elites to the fast attack, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah, with the jump pack. Yeah. And they just weren't seen very often. So I think it's cool that you have a 10 pack. You know me. I like weird lists. I like to use units that.
I also bought a Triarch Stalker.
So those were really popular throughout 8th because whatever they like shot at, they gave +1 to hit or reroll 1 or something.
Hit rolls of 1. They still got that.
Okay, cool. So you light up an enemy. It's kind of like a marker light for Tau.
Yeah. So here it is.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
silver bullets.
Of course, silver bullets. I like it.
That's hilarious.
So the Triarch Stalker has quantum shielding, and then the targeting relay. Each time a hit is scored until the end of the phase. Each time the friendly Necron model makes ranged attack against that unit, reroll a hit roll of 1. So he's just got to hit something. He doesn't even have to wound it or anything.
That's awesome.
I think they changed the twin heavy Gauss cannon. I thought it was like strength 9, AP minus 3, D6 damage or something like that. But now it's 30-inch range, heavy 6, strength 7, AP minus 3.
Is that 2 of those? Or just one?
No, it's just one twin heavy Gauss cannon.
It's still pretty handy though. That's good, efficient firepower.
And then Stalker's Forelens. I don't know how much from their Codex last edition, but they're strength users, so strength 7, AP minus 2, 3 damage, and he has 3 attacks in melee with it.
Okay.
So they're not Stalkers in melee.
Yeah, one unique thing about them is they used to have a gun that was like a Melta and a Flamer in the same gun.
So heat ray, yeah.
So you have that and the Gauss.
No, it's a choice, I think.
Choice,
yeah, okay. So it's equipped with a heat ray and Stalker forelimbs, and this model may replace one of the following: 1 particle shredder or 1 twin heavy.
How do you think you'll build it?
I'll probably build it with the twin heavy Gauss cannon, because he can still shoot into combat with it, so it's heavy 6, strength 7, AP 3 damage.
It's gonna take some getting used to shooting in combat.
Yeah. What I really like, and I can't remember who I heard talk about this, but it is a really cool idea. Take the Catacomb Command Barge, and you put the Tesla on him, so he has a Tesla cannon, which is strength 6, AP 0, 1 damage, heavy 3, 30 inches. And then you give him the relic of, I think it's a solar staff, maybe? It's a staff of some sort.
I mean, those guys have always been badasses. The little chariot, the leader on them.
I think they're better now because they got quantum shielding and they had quantum shielding, but I think quantum shielding is better, so I think they're better. Voltic staff. So it replaces Staff of Light, 18-inch range, assault 4, strength 6, AP minus 2, 2 damage, and it's got the Tesla rule. So every hit roll, unmodified hit roll 6 scores 2 additional hits.
That's nice. Sounds like all this adds up to be a really efficient shooting attack.
I may be making this sound better than it is. I don't know.
But you're doing sort of you're going more firepower heavy, right? With your army?
So I had a couple ideas for lists, and to be honest, I'm just waiting until Battle Scribe gets updated because
it's easier.
It's a lot easier. One of the lists had, I'll go over Satans here in a minute, but one of the lists that I had was the Void Dragon, the Nightbringer, and the Transcendent Satan, and you can only have a Satan in each detachment, so I was gonna take 3 patrols, whatever I'll spend 4 command points, I don't care. But I was gonna bring Imhotep, the Stormlord.
Oh, cool.
And
I remember him.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's just still like,
he's the
drop a bomb on someone once a game.
They changed it a little bit, so now you select one enemy model within 48 inches invisible to it, and you can't select characters unless they have 9 or more or 10 or more wounds.
Gotcha. Normal stuff.
Yeah, and then you roll a d6 for each enemy unit within 6 inches of that model. On a 4+, it suffers d3 mortal wounds. Then you roll 1d6 on a 4+. That model suffers 3 mortal wounds. So the model that you selected would take 3, and then everybody around him would take d3 on a 4+.
That's pretty good. It's almost like another Satan power.
So it's gonna be him.
Yeah.
Leading a.
So you said
so many characters.
You said you didn't say Nightbringer. You said the new one. Void Dragon.
Nightbringer, Void Dragon, and a Transcendent Satan.
But they have to be in different detachments.
They all have to be in different detachments.
Okay,
so I just take patrols.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I just take 3 patrols, and then one of the patrols be Imhotep and a Psychomancer. So the Psychomancer, I would pay for the Cryptek Arcana to give him it's kind of like a smite. You roll 3d6 and you have to beat the unit's leadership, and they suffer d3 mortal wounds.
Okay.
He has a whole list of other rules that I didn't really care about. I just cared about that d3 mortal wounds.
So you're going mortal wound heavy.
So it's going to be mortal wound heavy with all the Satan powers. So
yeah, all your little sprinkling of guns help. It just adds to it with all the mortal wounds.
Yeah. So the Plasmancer also has it's kind of like a smite. It's at the end of the move phase if the model does not fall back. That phase, roll 3d6 for each 4+. The closest enemy unit within 24 inches, invisible to the model, suffers 1 mortal wound.
That's why you take.
So that's why I would take 3 of them. They also have
so 9 9 4-ups that are each mortal wound. Ooh.
Yeah. It just kind of all adds together and starts chipping away at people.
Well, and people are bringing such tough things now, like eradicators, that you want to bring more.
And then pretty much the rest of my list, because I'd have the Nightbringer, and I'd have the Void Dragon, and I'd have the Transcendent Satan, and they're all very good in combat, pretty much.
Yeah, they're like Demon Princes.
And they all cast 2 powers, because I would just always take the Transcendent Satan that casts 2 powers.
Right.
Which I haven't really thought about what powers I'd take with Winch yet, you know, but... So it'd be 3 of those, Psychomancer, Imhotech, and I'm pretty sure when I did the math, it was like 1,200 points.
So would you still take the Silent King?
So, no, I would not take
Silent King will be a different list.
Silent King would be a different list, yeah.
Because you did...
The rest of them would be, like, the rest of the things would be like Necron Warriors and Immortals and stuff to hide the characters. I also bought the...
Just balance stuff for objectives and... Gotcha.
I also bought the new Convergence of Dominion, the new fortifications for him.
That look like his little floating rocks.
I won't be able to take him with the list I was just talking about because...
You have to have a fortification.
I have to have a fortification attached.
They need to change that, GW. So, you know how you can bring 2 flyers with every detachment? Make it so you can bring a fortification with every detachment.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard.
I think they're... How many points are there? I think they're 120 for 3 of these models.
And they shoot and they keep people from deep striking or something crazy?
So they have 120... It's 120 points for 3 of these things that are T8 and 10 wounds and a 3+ save with living metal. And command protocols. Weird.
Command protocols, okay.
Yeah, that's I didn't know they had that. The Necron Dynasty building vehicle, yeah. So they got this translocation protocols. It's a long thing that pretty much just a Cryptek has to do action on it, and it gets to teleport it anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches away.
Teleport the Cryptek or teleport?
No, teleport the thingy,
the big
the model thing. Then it's got Dynastic Command Node. While command protocol is active for your army, friendly units with the command protocol ability are within 6 inches of this model benefit from the selective directive of the active command protocol. Okay, so instead of having a character nearby for the command protocol, you just have one of these.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
So that's why you...
And nobody really wants to shoot him. I mean, who's going to waste a bunch of shots on a T8 10 wound model that doesn't
They look pretty big, right? Like you can block, like put them in between 2 buildings and suddenly your opponent can't.
Well, with the fortification attachment, I think it's like 4, what is it? It'd be 240. So it'd be 360 points for 9 of these.
What?
So you can take like 9 of them and just like wall off the 2 objectives you have back at your deployment zone and stuff. And,
oh man.
But I don't know. I really hope they change the fortification rules because I don't think that's really viable because you have to be 3 inches away from any other terrain features.
Right.
Which is...
Just for deployment, right? Or all the time?
Yeah, I think it's like all the time.
That actually makes it hard for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick with 3.
I would just take 3 because...
I think
they're big enough that I could put them on my back objective. They have to be wholly within 12 of each other, but I think I can put one by the objective and then one over there and then one by the other objective.
Well,
and then you can just hide behind it with like a unit of scarabs.
Oh, that's nice.
And then
no line of sight.
And then no line of sight to them to get shot.
Well, and they look so similar to the ones that the Silent King has floating next to him that they'll look awesome, just like all around him.
Yeah.
These big floating creepy orbs, rocks. So yeah, they'd be cool with that.
I think I was gonna take that in the Silent King list just because that'd be kind of nice.
And honestly, same thing like with the big Chaos Stargate thing that I have. More, you'll just use it as actual terrain on the board.
Yeah.
Just like.
And they'd be good for actual terrain.
They'll look awesome. Yeah. Hopefully they're nice and chunky. Can block line of sight for smaller units.
But yeah, for the whole mortal wound list, I think it was like 1,200 or 1,300 points when I quickly added it up for just the 3 Satan and the characters. Then the rest of it would just be like Necron Warriors and Immortals and Scarabs and stuff.
I feel
kind of objective stuff in the hide people.
Yeah, I mean it seems like well balanced, but then also surprise, tons of mortal wounds.
Yeah.
And I feel like 40k players that don't play AOS don't like come up with these crazy high mortal wound lists because that's very common in AOS. You kind of get that. AOS has so many more mortal wounds than 40k. So it's kind of cool. It's like a AOS list for 40k. And they're all those spells that are coming from the Satan. No one can stop them. Like you could have Magnus, and he can't. He can't stop him.
None of the stuff that they can stop.
Yeah. So it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty good. They changed. I'm pretty sure they changed quite a bit of the Satan powers. So we'll just run through them. The Animated Meteor is roll 1d6, adding 1 to the roll if the Satan shard is in a Tesseract Vault. On a 3 to 5, the closest enemy unit within 24 inches invisible to the same Satan shard suffers 3 mortal wounds. And on a 6+, that enemy unit suffers D3 plus 3.
So it used to be a 2+ to do D3. And now it's a 3+ to do flat 3.
Yep. And then a 5 or a 6
for the vault.
For the vault is D3 plus 3.
Oh! And it still does 3 a turn? The vault?
Yep.
So vaults are going to be good again. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
Vaults are going to be good again.
When times arrow, select one enemy unit within 18 inches invisible to the Satan shard. Roll 1d6, adding 1 to the roll if the Satan shard is in the vault. If the total equals or exceeds the wound characteristics of any model in that unit, your opponent selects one of those models to be destroyed. Which
your opponent selects.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I think that's the kind of crappy part about the times arrow thing, because like, if you could pick it, then like they have a special weapon or something that'd be nice, and then also if it would break them out of unit coherency, then just half the unit would be destroyed.
Totally, or like the freaking Eradicators with the heavy multi-melters, the new like crazy multi-melters.
So that would be
still good to just go dead. So is it roll higher than their wounds?
Yeah, equals or exceeds. So equal.
Okay, so those. We're going to keep coming back to Marines here, guys. The 3 wound Marines that are going to start dominating the meta, which is Aggressors, Eradicators, and Heavy Intercessors. You just got to roll 3 up, or a 2 up with
the vault.
And you kill a whole like 45-point Eradicator. I like that. I have 2 vaults, guys. That's why I keep bringing this up. I'm very excited.
Well, unfortunately, you'll have to take them in 2 different detachments.
It's fine.
Okay.
Patrols, like you said. Yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Well, no, the vaults are heavy. Lord of War.
Oh, they're Lord of War? Okay.
So you have to spend 6 command points to bring 2 of them?
And I'll just bring both of them and the crazy other Forge Roll super heavy I have, and just do a super heavy detachment.
You can't even do that, because there's only 1 Satan shard per detachment.
So there's no way to do a super heavy detachment anymore.
Not with 3 vaults, or 2 vaults.
Okay, well.
So you'd have to take 2 separate detachments. Yeah.
I'll do it for fun at some point.
That'd be half your army and spend 6 command points.
1,000 points. Yeah. It could be mean. Could surprise some people.
I mean, what you could do is that if you got the Silent King, you could bring a vault, that heavy construct thing, and the Silent King. And then, or a monolith. You can pay $200 for a monolith.
Hey, they're only 175. You're thinking of the Gargants. They're 195. I wanted to rant on that for a second. I grew up playing this game. I remember when I was a kid, the first armor I had was Space Wolves, and I bought a plastic Land Raider right when it came out, and it's the same Land Raider that we have now, and it was $49 retail. The Land Raiders now are $80, so it's gone up to $30.
Inflammation.
Yeah. Also, I don't remember Storm Ravens being $90. They're $90 on the shelf.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think everything's just ridiculously expensive for GW.
So it used to be
this single heavy destroyer, I think, was $40.
40, yeah. Well, I mean, the new Primaris Chaplain on bike is $45, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like,
even the little Gene Stealer cult characters, like the little Magnus,
like 40 or something.
They're like $40. I think the Magnus is like $30, and then like the Abominate, which is not very big still, is still $40.
Ugh. Well, and like, it used to be, you knew the expensive armies. You're like, you know, AdMac, you're gonna be spending $1,000, you know. But if you wanted to play like Chaos Demons, you can get away with them fairly cheap. But now it's gotten to the point where it's like, they're all pretty pricey. I guess Space Marines are probably still the cheapest.
Yeah, because you can find them so cheap on eBay.
Well, and they're becoming more elite. Like, they cost more points and have more wounds. I don't know. Imperial Knights, you just get like 4 of them. That's $300 and you're done.
Yeah.
That's pretty cheap.
Imperial Knights, I also heard Custode are really cheap just because they're
expensive.
They're expensive point-wise.
Hordes always cost the most. I've noticed that Craft World Wraith are just pretty cheap retail. It's like $40 for 5 of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can get a Wraith army going pretty quick.
I think it's like what is it, 85, 90 bucks for the start collecting. It comes with a War Walker and a Wraith Lord and Spirit Seer and a unit of race. Maybe it's 2 units of race.
And then there was always those armies where it's like, if you want to build a certain army, you just know you're going to spend a lot. Like my 9 Talos, they're like 50 bucks a piece.
Yeah.
So like certain armies always cost more, but now it's starting to seem like, I don't know, I'm just frustrated. I waited forever for Sons of Behemoth and it's $195. I bought the book. I'm going to keep converting giants and finding other companies that make giants. Eventually, yes, I'll get one of the new Gargants, but man, it better be like Christmas.
How big are they? Like,
they're big. I heard that they look face to face with like Imperial Knights. You know, they're not gigantic.
$200.
Yeah, it's too much.
What was it, $170 to buy 2 knights and a terrain feature?
$200, yeah.
That was $200, yeah.
Yeah.
And you get 2 knights and terrain feature.
Yeah, I mean, it sold out right away, but ugh. But then, yeah, and then you'll find things that are still pretty affordable. So, I mean, it's weird. It's just a bad sign when the 3 newest things are $150, $175, $195. You're like, oh god.
I think the new price of the Void Dragon's like $100, maybe?
That's surprising. Bad. I figured he'd be Night Titan.
And he looks pretty darn big.
Also, the Greater Demons have gone up. I saw them on the shelf the other day at one of the friendly local gaming stores for like $140 for a Bloodthirster. $140 for the Keeper of Secrets. I'm like, what? Luckily, I already have all my giant gross things because they definitely weren't that much when I bought them. Yeah. I think I got Rodigus for $100 even.
Well, I paid $100 for Lord Change that was completely painted, pro-painted and everything.
I know, yeah.
eBay.
So,
and I was like,
yes, there's always going to be eBay. My worry is that they're increasing in price because to battle 3D printers. So like they're losing money because everyone's 3D printing their own stuff, so they're like, we gotta just charge more per model. But instead, they're gonna end up pricing themselves out. They're gonna end up charging too much.
And then you want to 3D print these.
Yeah, and then forcing players like us who want to support our, local gaming store, but just can't afford to. Because now it's like for the price of 2 of those Gargants, you could buy a top-of-the-line 3D printer and just 3D print everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as good. I personally don't think 3D printed models look near as good. But they do make some really cool terrain. They make some cool, like some of my blocky dreadnoughts you could easily 3D print. I mean, you've seen the Leviathan 3D printed and it looks fine.
It looks fine. They're a bit
weird.
Bigger, but yeah. I think Leviathan should be bigger than what they are anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We went over some of the new book. I think this Necron book is going to be great. I think you can still buy a brand new retail Necron army for fairly cheap because the Satan aren't that bad.
Well, you get on eBay, all the Satan are going for like over $100.
Oh, great, of course.
Yeah, like the Nightbringer's over $100.
The Immortals aren't very pricey, but they only come with 5 in a box, so you got to buy quite a few boxes.
I wasn't even really thinking about it until I wasn't even thinking about buying a Necron army or anything else until we all got the Indominus boxes. And
oh yeah.
I was like, whatever, I'll take the Necron half. So I have 3 halves of the Necron, pretty much 3 halves of the Necron minus some score pack guys. And so I got 60 warriors and all the other stuff from there.
That's the cheap way to do it. Yeah. 60 warriors quick.
And then I went to our friendly local game store and got I spent $500 on the Silent King, the Necron Codex, the data cards for it. I bought 2 boxes of Triarch Praetorians, a Triarch Stalker, and the new War of the Worlds Walker thing with the Doomsday Cannon on it.
Oh, nice, because you already got one of those in the box, but it's the healing one. Right, yeah. Right.
But I think this, by the looks of it, I'm pretty sure the Stalkers, or not the Reanimator, the whatever it is.
Doomsday Cannon one.
Doomsday Cannon one is like a lot bigger.
You think?
Yeah, there he is back there in the back, floating. Tail.
Oh, that looks, God, Silent King looks so amazing.
Yeah.
It really is a great model. I like that paint job. There's a picture in the book, guys, where the Necron Doom sights have red wings.
So I'm pretty sure that's the Novak. That's the
aggressive one.
That's the aggressive ones. The one you like.
Yep. Are you gonna build all your 60 warriors with the new like 2-shot assault gun?
So far I've been building them like that.
That's awesome.
I think I'm gonna build 20 of them like that. Maybe 40. I don't know.
Yeah, that way you can leave some in the backfield on objectives, shooting more long range.
Yeah.
If you give them the normal gun. But it's like strength 5 -2, right? It's like the Immortal Goss gun, but just short range.
Yeah, so they changed it from the Indominus box to the Codex.
Yeah, it's a lot better now.
It's Assault 2, 12-inch range, Strength 5, AP -2, 1 damage.
Yeah, that's way better.
So like you can just drop 20 of them down and then you have 40 shots.
Strength 5.
That's Strength 5.
So can you deep strike warriors?
You can with the Veil of Darkness relic.
So they still have that relic.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And I think there was also a stratagem. You can always put them in strategic reserve too.
Right, and I think they probably still have the. There's a flyer that warps a unit in. There's monoliths that warp units in.
So the knight size can transport 20 guys.
Oh, that's so mean.
And then there's also a stratagem that you can do to just teleport 20 guys to it. So like people that are like in reserves, if the night side flies over somewhere, you just spend like, I think it's like 2 command points or whatever, and just teleport 20 guys right there.
Yeah, dropping 40 strength 5 -2 shots, that might put a dent in Space Marines like
then
I always talk about.
Then if you take Mefrit, which is the one that most people will probably take, because I think it's probably the best, you get to add 3 inches to the range characteristics of weapons. And each model with this code makes a ranged attack that targets the unit within half range. They get +1 to their AP. So.
Oh, that's what it always used to be,
That's
right?
what it always
When you're
used to be.
close, it's even more, so it's AP -3.
But now they get 3 inches to the range of their weapons, so now it's 15-inch range.
So you drop in, and it's all -3.
It's all -2, because you can't drop in within half range of. It'd be
half of 12.
7.5.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So it'd be 7.5 inches with 3.
But still, I like, you know me, I like the aggressive short range stuff. So that's awesome.
I'll probably build 40 of them with it. So far, I've been building them. I think I've built 20 of them so far, and they all have the Reapers. And then I'll probably build 10 of the regular guys, and then so I can just have like 2 units of 10 or whatever.
On backfield objectives, hanging out. Can those fortification floaty things score?
No, fortifications and aircraft can't score objectives.
Gotcha.
That's why I was just going to put them down and then have people hide behind them. So.
Awesome. Let me see this thing.
Yeah.
Guys, the new Necron book, go get it. It's awesome. I'm sure a lot of you already have. Thanks for hanging out with us while we're doing a little hobby talk. I painted up some hilarious objective markers for Beer and BatReps. We got Coors, we got Budweiser. Nick and Logan, Beer and BatReps, thank you so much for tuning in. We're probably going to churn out these little hobby chats once a week because it gives us an excuse to get stuff done and just chat.
Yeah, we usually get stuck talking when we play games anyway. There's not enough time.
Now we can focus.
In the day.
Now we can focus. So those of you who want to just like paint and hear us blabber on about whatever's hot and new in Warhammer.
And just keep getting distracted.
Yes.
Going on, rabbit trails? Or,
oh yeah, like it's easy for these to drag on for an hour, so hopefully you stuck with us. If not, tune back in. Maybe next time we'll talk about lore. Maybe next time we'll talk about the tournament lists that are doing well. A lot of cool things to talk about while we're painting and assembling. So thanks for tuning in. Have a good one, guys. Cheers.